Hello, and welcome back to Empower Autism. Today we're going to be talking about functional communication. And this is such a critical strategy in applied behavior analysis. If we can begin to master functional communication, we really can begin to reduce the amount of problem behaviors that you might be seeing. So, what is it? Number one, it is communication. It is your child telling you that they want something, that they need something. This can be verbally, it can be gesturally with an AAC device through sign language. It's your child trying to communicate with you. And it is going to be functional because it is going to be a practical way of communicating, a more adaptive way, a way that we can use in everyday life. So, how do we use functional communication? Let's start by talking about a problem behavior. Let's say that you are in the kitchen with your child, and all of a sudden they start screaming and hitting their hands against the floor, and you don't know what to do. So, you pull out their favorite snack, let's say it's a pretzel, and you give it to them. And finally, they're quiet, and you're like, oh, this is so great. Yes, they are quiet. However, you have just taught that child that when they tantrum, when they scream, when they cry, that is going to result in them receiving their favorite snack. It's going to result in them receiving the pretzel. So although they may be quiet right now, you have just increased the amount of times that child is going to engage in this behavior. Whenever they want that snack, whenever they want that pretzel now, they are going to engage in that behavior. So let's use functional communication to reverse this, to restructure that problem behavior, right? So we know that the child wants access to their snack. Right now, they are accessing it through a problematic way, through tantruming. So I want them to access it with their communication skills, whether it be verbal or with sign language AAC. I want them to access it with communication skills, right? And I want this communication to be very simple, so simple for them. Even if your child has strong verbal skills, we are going to start off so simple. So if the child wants a pretzel, all I'm going to require is the one word, pretzel. I'm not going to require, I want pretzel, I want a snack. I'm not going to require any of these complex sentences. I want to get rid of this problem behavior as quickly as I can. So I'm going to make this super simple for them. All they have to do is say pretzel. And when they say pretzel, they get that pretzel right away. It is going to be continuous reinforcement, right? As soon as they say the word pretzel, bang, you got it, right? So this might be called FR1 if you're talking with your ABA practitioner. It could be called CRF, continuous reinforcement. But as soon as they say that word pretzel, they have it. I want to avoid that tantrum behavior as best I can, right? And I also might want to set up some circumstances for the individual to say the word pretzel, right? So the first time I'm trying this, I might hold up the pretzel and say pretzel. And now they say pretzel. Here you go. Great job saying pretzel. So amazing. That was so good. Now I completely avoided that tantrum behavior, right? And I want to get rid of those verbals, that prompting that I'm giving them, say pretzel. So now maybe the next, I do that a few times. Then the next time I just hold up the pretzel in front of them and they emit pretzel. So great. You said pretzel. Amazing. Here you go. And again, it's every time. I give it to them every time, right? And now I'm reducing this problem behavior because they are learning now. All they have to do is say pretzel and they get a pretzel. Fantastic. So good. And trust me, I understand that this is not a long-term solution right here. So in our next episodes, we are going to talk about now that they learn to say pretzel results in the behavior in receiving the reinforcement. Now, how do I extend that, right? They can't get a pretzel every time. We can't live life this way, right? Every time your child says pretzel, they can't get a pretzel. Every time they say they don't want to do work, they don't have to do work, right? So we are going to talk about that in our next episode. We're also going to talk about just different examples, like when your child wants a tangible, like a pretzel, when your child wants attention, when your child wants to get out of work. We're going to talk about those examples and how to use functional communication with those types of reinforcers. So please continue to stay with us. If you're watching on YouTube or on one of the social media platforms, come visit our website and check out the rest of these videos. They're really helpful for parents that really want to understand ABA and break down all the technical jargon that may be associated with it. Hope to see you soon.